Welcome to the Danbury Democrats. My name is John Gogliettino. I'm your host. We're going to be talking to Larry Riefberg at this session about what the Democratic Town Committee is and do a recap maybe on this past election and how we did locally and what we're going to be doing in the coming year. This is a city election year. So you finish one election and you go right into another election. And we're going to be looking for candidates for that shortly. So we're going to have a discussion about that. And a lot of people, forget what the Democratic Town Committee does. We organize things behind the scenes in many cases. So without further ado, let's have Larry come on and you could tell us a little bit about your background, how many years you've been, and the kinds of things you've done.
John, thank you for having me on the show, and it's always a pleasure. And what you do is such great work by informing the public about the local Democratic Party and all of the work that it takes to effectuate government and good government in our community. I always talk about the fact that democracy is a participatory sport, and we want everybody to participate. And so I want to start off by wishing everybody a happy and healthy holiday season. It is that time of year when we need to reflect and be thankful for all of the gifts that we have, and to look forward to a bright and healthy and prosperous 2025. Having said that, I want to go back to the local elections in November. They were glorious. They were victorious for our candidates. It was a monumental success across the board for our local Democratic Party. In the 110th district, Bob Godfrey, the dean of our delegation, after having defeated soundly his opponent in a primary, won his election with over 60% of the vote. That's the 110th Assembly District. In the second district, Rahab Valley Brennan got 58% of the vote compared to 42% as against his Republican opponent. In the 109th Assembly District, State Representative and incumbent Farley Santos, my state representative, won convincingly and overwhelmingly with 56.5% of the vote compared to 43.5% for his opponent. And we were able to win back the seat with Ken Gucker defeating the incumbent Republican state representative. And he won that seat and is now being returned to Hartford to represent the 138th district. So we're very proud of Ken and the hard work of that he did and that of his campaign. So the local state representative candidates were overwhelmingly successful. At the state Senate level, Julie Kushner had a rematch against her MAGA Republican opponent from 2 years ago. And the voters have spoken, and they've spoken overwhelmingly in all three communities, Danbury, New Fairfield, and Richfield. And Julie got 58.5% of the vote compared to 46.5% for her opponent. She won by over 3,000 votes. It's an overwhelming mandate for the outstanding work that she's doing at the state Senate level in Hartford. She is an unbelievable hard worker and a champion, and we are so thrilled and proud that she has been reelected. We're also proud of the efforts that we made on behalf of our congressional candidate, Johanna Hayes, who won overwhelmingly in the 5th Congressional District, again, beating the same opponent that she faced 2 years ago. She got 53.4% of the vote. She won by over 23,000 votes in the 5th Congressional District. That's the district in Connecticut that's the most competitive. And yet she was able to deliver her message of good, honest, hard work and supporting the people that live in the 5th Congressional District. And the voters responded by reelecting her again as our Congresswoman. And then Chris Murphy. Chris, just an amazing United States Senator with a clearly bright future for our party. He ran against a no-name who had no experience, and the voters recognized that. And Chris got over 58% of the vote statewide, and we were happy that in Danbury we were able to contribute to his overwhelming victory and success in the United States Senate. So we really have so much to be proud of as a local Democratic Party, because we built on the success of last year's election, where we took back City Hall, took back the Board of Education, the mayor's office, the city council, the zoning board, and we built on that by electing our state representatives locally, our state senator, our United States Congresswoman, and our United States Senator. And let me add this. At the local level, the administration supported a bond package which would help the city build a new fire station on the west side, one that is desperately needed, that would begin to pave roads on a much more meaningful basis than had been in the past 20 years, when we would see a Republican mayor pave more roads in election year and fewer roads in a non-election year. So this is going to bring meaningful change to the road paving schedule, do some very important work, and the voters responded to Roberto Alves and the city council and passed that bond referendum overwhelmingly. So we can look forward to lots more progress in 2025 and in years to come because of that bond referendum. So we played a role in the state by Murphy, in the 5th Congressional District by Johanna Hayes, locally by passing the bond referendum and all our state rep candidates and state Senate candidate. We are just thrilled with the participation. The early voting was a huge success. People showed up in numbers that were unprecedented, obviously unprecedented in terms of what we anticipated, because it had never been done before, early voting in an election.
Larry,
and so now we have something to look forward to in 2025.
what was our turnout?
I don't have the final numbers on the percentage turnout.
35% or something, or 40.
It was more than that. It was 34% in the municipal election in 2023. Right. I don't have the final number of what 2024 was. It was definitely more than that, as it always is in a presidential year. But what we want naturally is to make sure that everybody recognizes the significance and importance of the municipal race in 2025, and that the turnout can be increased more than the 34% that turned out in 2023. We want to increase that to closer to 50% or more. As I said before, democracy is a participatory sport. It will die in darkness. We need people to participate in the system. We believe that the more people that participate, the greater margins we as Democrats will enjoy, because we do the good, hard, and necessary work that the public wants us to do. We face those challenges, we have solutions, and we believe we'll be rewarded as a result of that.
Now, I started out when I started the show, I basically said, let's talk a little bit about the Democratic Party. What does the Democratic Party, the central, the committee itself, what does it do during the quiet periods, not the actual combat that goes on from September to November? Or some people are not aware of it. It's actually going on in the month of August also, but uh,
And in June and in February. It's
there's
true.
there's conventions that go on, and that's even before that. But
Right.
there's activity, but the public is aware of that 3 month period. Right before the election, they're not aware all their month after month. There's activity going on, but
There is. There is.
yes,
So in Danbury, we have 7 wards. And from those wards, 4 people are elected to the town committee, the Democratic Town Committee. We serve every a 2-year term. And then when 2 years are up, we run again. Those that wish to seek seek election run. So the town committee meets throughout the year. Obviously, as you pointed out, it used to be that the official campaign was Labor Day to Election Day, but things start significantly sooner. So first, let's talk a little bit about fundraising. In the state races, the state representative, state senate, those that we just had, there is public financing of elections. And so a minimal amount of money needs to be raised for the candidates. And then the state, through our taxpayer dollars, naturally, kicks in the amount of money that each candidate can spend. And so the need for fundraising is nowhere near as great in those years as it is in the odd years. So in the year coming up, 2025, the Democratic Town Committee and Roberto Alves, who is going to seek re-election for mayor, will need to raise a significant amount of money. And so the fundraising will start in earnest after the first of the year. We're going to have our holiday party naturally at the end of the year. It's meant as a small fundraiser, of course, but it's also to thank everybody for the year of hard work and effort, and also to gather in celebration of the season. But the work in terms of fundraising will start in earnest in 2025. In addition to the fundraising, obviously, we need to recruit candidates. So we have a 21-member council. We're one of the largest councils in the state. We have 14 members elected from the wards, 2 in each ward, 7 wards, so that's 14. And then 7 are elected at large. They can be from any ward at all, and they don't have to be spread out. So we have a total of 21 members, and we will need 21 candidates to run for city council. We have there are no vacancies on the council. But we don't know, of course, that every council member wishes to seek re-election. So the first thing we do for all of the races is we ask the incumbents whether or not they wish to seek another term, and if they do, to seek their support from the town committee. The town committee is the ones that nominates the candidates, and to the extent then that we have vacancies, either because a candidate chooses not to run or because there are vacancies, because we can win more seats on the board and zoning and council, then we recruit candidates that wish to run. In addition, obviously, we have an incumbent mayor, Roberto Alves, doing an amazing job in his first term. He's been in office 1 year and 1 year only. And yet he's pulled together some incredible work, bringing the department heads together and working well across the board, working across the aisle. The bond package, by way of example, was unanimously supported by the city council. Every Republican on the city council voted for the bond package. So we've worked across the aisle in order to do that. So we anticipate Roberto to run for re-election and to be re-elected. We have our incumbent town clerk, Lori Esposito, who will hopefully run again and win. And then we have the city treasurer's position. In addition, we have Board of Education candidates and zoning candidates. These are all 2-year terms. We have 9 members of the zoning commission, and we have to run every 2 years. There are 3 alternates that we run. So there's plenty of opportunity for those that wish to seek elective office to run. Reach out to the town committee, let us know of your interest. We will, talk to you about the positions that are available and see if we can fill those positions with those that are interested. And of course, there's always boards and commissions that are not elected, but they're
Right.
appointed, there are vacancies. So we need people to serve on boards and commission, to run for public office, to raise money, but then also to do the work that the town committee does beyond that, which is issues in the neighborhoods, to identify those, to write letters to the editor, to reach out to their neighbors and have neighborhood parties to introduce the candidates uh, uh, to their neighbors and friends and family members. We need people to put signs in their yards at the appropriate time and to publicize the campaign, to go on social media and to post about all the good work that the Democrats are doing in the community. And so there is a ton of work that needs to be done. There's a finance committee that we need to establish. There's a budget that we need to live by. There's a headquarter committee. We are very proud that we're one of the few town committees in the state that maintains an active year-round, 365 days a year headquarters on Main Street, 161 Main Street, where we've been for decades, and we're very proud of that fact. Most town committees do not have a permanent headquarters, but we've been able to maintain that, which again is going to be a springboard to our success in the future. So there's a ton of activity that needs to be done that we're looking forward to. And I would welcome anybody to reach out to me personally. You can email me.
Yeah.
You can call me. The email is L Riefberg. That's my last name, Riefberg, L Riefberg at riefberglaw.com. Or you can call my cell 203-947-0182. Again, 203-947-0182. We welcome everyone's interest, and there's many, many things and activities that we need help with. When the campaign goes in full swing, again, it's knocking on doors, handing out literature, spreading the word of the Al's administration and the fine work that our Democratic team is doing at the city council level, at the board level, at the zoning level, across the board, highlighting the progress that we've made in our city.
Now, if if people are not sure about what they want to do, they want to be involved in what, they should write you an email or call you,
Absolutely.
and you can have a conversation about where there might be a spot on the ticket for them, or just work on the behind the scenes on the town committee or behind the town committee. There's people want to learn the old fashioned way. You follow the people ahead of you and carry the water for a while, and within a few terms you might be there yourself. After you learn what you're doing.
Yes, many people don't want to be the candidates running for public office. They don't want the scrutiny. They don't want to be the object of criticism and social media or otherwise. But we need people to do the research on the issues that are affecting our neighborhoods. We need people to be advocates for the Al's administration and for our party. So you can attend meetings. They're all public meetings, both the town committee as well as our city council, zoning, planning commission, board of ed, and you can speak at those meetings about those things that are important to you. You can meet with your local city council men and women and talk to them about issues that concern you. So, I don't want anybody to feel that if they reach out, that somehow their name is going to be thrust into the limelight and debated and then talked about and then be the object of social media scrutiny. There are plenty of people that do the volunteer work that's necessary. Um, it is just as important that we have people setting up for our fundraisers, opening up headquarters, bringing the coffee and the donuts for the morning walks, and then cleaning up afterwards. Those people are just as important to the organization as those who can afford to write $1,000 check and give to candidates and their committees. So we welcome everyone. No one gets turned away. And in the Democratic Party, there is no 100% rule. We believe in a big tent. We welcome people and a divergence of opinion. Simply because we disagree on an issue doesn't mean that anybody is ostracized or cast away. We agree to disagree. We move forward professionally, in friendship, in camaraderie, because at the end of the day, what we all want is what we all want and what we all strive for is Danbury's best interest. And so while we may disagree on the process or how to get there, we believe that everyone on our team, on our ticket that supports our party and our agenda is looking out for the best interests of Danbury. And so we want you to join the cause. Danbury received the Democracy Award from the Secretary of State last year. The Democracy Award is given to the city with the highest percentage of those that voted in the municipal election. And the Secretary of State, Stephanie Thomas, came to Danbury, a city over 50,000. There's the award for the town between 0 and 10,000 population, 10 to 20, 5, 25 to 50, and then 50,000 and over. And I say unfortunately, but unfortunately, Danbury was the winner of that. Obviously, fortunate that we won it, but unfortunate that only 34% of those that were registered participated in the last election. So she came to Danbury and proudly presented that award. And we understand sometimes in the big cities like Bridgeport and Hartford, the action, the participation is in the primary. There's always a Democratic primary in those communities. A lot more people turn out in the primary than do in the general election. And so we understand that, but nevertheless, at 34%, I think that's shameful. So naturally, I want to win the Democracy Award again in Danbury. I want Danbury to have the highest voter turnout, which leads me to another a segment of what we ask our party faithful and those that wish to volunteer to do. There are many, many people who are unregistered that we know who are over the age of 18. We have a group of people that go out, talk to parents whose children who are over 18 may not be registered. We want to get them registered. Naturally, we'd love them to register in the Democratic Party, and we talk about why party registration is important. But either way, we want them to register so that they're able to participate. Similarly, we know of many people who have the need for an absentee ballot when it comes time for election. Their health prevents them from coming to the polls. They're away at college. Their work prevents them from being here. And one of the proud things that happened in the last election was that absentee ballot for all passed in Connecticut. Again, overwhelmingly, we're one of the few states that didn't have absentee ballots for all. And so now you do not need an excuse or to try to come up with an excuse as to why you would want to vote by absentee. Obviously, during COVID, many people were concerned about health reasons and voted absentee. But we need people to spread the word, that if you're over the age of 18, we want you to register. B, if you need an absentee ballot, you no longer need an excuse as to why you fill out the application. You just state that you want one, and an absentee ballot will be sent to you either at your home, if you're going to be home, or at your address at college or wherever you may be working. If you're in the military, obviously an assignment overseas, in a deployment somewhere, we want to get you an absentee ballot. And we want to publicize the early voting opportunities that there are. So we need volunteers to be on our team. And again, not necessarily in official capacity as a member of the town committee, but we needed volunteers to help in that effort as well. Because again, we see participation in the election as useful and beneficial to the Democratic Party and the democratic process. I cannot speak highly enough about what Roberto has done in this community and the progress that he's made in just one short year. And so I am so looking forward to his official kickoff in early first quarter of 2025. And when we can all join that effort and reelect him overwhelmingly and move forward as a city and be progressive and face the challenges that Danbury faces, and many of which, unfortunately, we inherited after 22 years of Republican leadership, or as I might suggest, lack of leadership for 22 years in this city. So I welcome you to join us. We have a great group of enthusiastic volunteers, and we need your help, and we want your help.
That's the big difference between the Democratic Party and the Republican Party in this town, is we have a lot more teamwork. You know, we're workhorses, not show horses.
Indeed, John, and that's an important point. If you want to participate, we want your help at whatever level you can give it. You want to just put a sign in your yard and be a part of our team, you are a part of our team, and that's all you need to do. You want to write a letter to the editor, you want to have a little Saturday afternoon gathering of 20 of your neighbors in the neighborhood to talk about an issue. All of these things are helpful. You do not need to donate $1,000 to the campaign in order to be appreciated. We appreciate anything at all that you're willing to do to spread the word that the Danbury Democratic Party is alive and well. We are full of fabulous leaders, from our mayor, Roberto Alves, to our state senator, Julie Kushner, state representatives, Bob Godfrey, Farley Santos, Ken Gucker, Raheb Ali Brennan, to our congresswoman, Johanna Hayes, to our United States senators, Chris Murphy and Senator Richard Blumenthal. We are blessed with outstanding leadership, and we want you to join our mission and our cause, because we believe that we're doing great things for our city and our state. Our governor and the constitutional officers, all Democratic, all doing an amazing job. Again, we passed election reform with Stephanie Thomas, our Secretary of State, our state treasurer, Eric Russell, our state comptroller, Sean Scanlon, our lieutenant governor doing an amazing job leading our state senate and spreading the word of our Susan Bisowitz, our lieutenant governor and governor.
We're running out of time.
All right, and our Attorney General, William Tong, is going to hold the line this year. So thank you for having me on your show.
Thanks for coming on the show, and thank you to the viewers for tuning in to the Danbury Dems. See you next week, same time, same station.
Thank you, John.